so that the human dependence is much less, and that is the strategy that Zodiac has adopted for future investment, future growth, and I'm sure it's paying good dividends. And the time will come when he'll worry less about his bottom line and more about his waistline. Okay. So finally we come to the last speaker, Shri Avinash Maikar. So please, Mr. Maikar.
Hello. Thank you very much, Chairman, for giving me this opportunity to speak last, because I just wanted to know, as we are having all great speakers from various value chain, I thought let me see something what is different. First of all, why we all of us are here. If at all we are talking of sustainability, we are the people who are from the most polluted industry. We are the people who are using most of the dyes and chemicals. Horrible dyes and chemicals, Mr. Edward, you will agree to this. But why we are here? Why we do this? We do this because our clients, who are the consumers, they want colors. They want beautiful colors in their life. So they are choosing it, that's why all of us are here. But let's go to the basic. If we go to basic, all the time our basic need was to protect ourselves from the environmental issues. It was not color. Subsequently, we found that attractive colors also can come in. Now, if at all we are talking of, if at all we are talking of future, how things are going to happen, we can see with sustainability, with green revolution, with new developments which are coming in, lot many norms would be put in, will not be allowed on so many dyes, so many chemicals, and basically we have to go to basic that we have to protect ourselves. If that is going to happen, then there are more challenges for people like Mr. Edward, how to come out with new developments. Already they have started. Similarly, all of us also have to understand from the textile manufacturing fraternity point of view is that we are making our apparels more stronger. So here I am going to touch upon some points. Of course, due to limitation of time, I will just give you certain points on which we can think of. So number one, we are making textile apparels which are more stronger, more durable. Why? Because Mr. Zodiac person is telling Mr. Tirupur person is that you have to give me the best quality, you have to give me the best whatever is possible. But ultimately the end user is not looking for that. If at all I am a consumer, I would like to purchase every Diwali 3-4 shirts, 3-4 trousers, whatever. Or maybe in case of sari it will be much more in numbers. So whenever we are doing this study, now we have done recently one study in Oman, and we found that the people are just crazy for the shopping. They want to purchase. But if at all, as textile manufacturers, if at all we keep on giving them something which is more durable, it will be very difficult for us to consume every year so much and put it in our wardrobe. So this is one point. Second thing which we are, all of us have to understand is that the investments which are happening, which are going to happen, would be happening mainly into our big areas. When I say our big areas, it is for the Indian textile industry. What are our big areas? First and foremost thing, Mr. Raja, is that we are cotton prominent country. Because we are experts in cotton. But cotton, natural product, so it has its own limitations. We are now coming out with more yield and everything on the fiber part. Same thing is that when we are using cotton, we have almost 25 to 28% of waste along with that, which we need to eliminate in spinning process itself. Further 2%, 3% in weaving processing and garmenting. Again 2% more. It means almost 30% of waste which is there in raw material, we are converting that into finished product. Why we are creating this waste? We are creating this waste because we want a natural product. If at all we go to synthetic, this waste percentage comes down drastically, and we are ending up almost only 10% of waste. But as the nature of the business, we are handling this waste. What we are doing? Our chairman has already said that so much of waste is going into landfills. Why? Now carpet on which all of us are sitting or standing, that is made out of sun fibers. Can we use certain waste which can be converted into this type of products? Yes. If you see the ducts which are passing over here or maybe in the various industries, they need some sort of insulation. Can we convert this waste to produce those fat felts? Yes. There are technologies which are available. Are we as a serious player from textile industry are thinking of this? No. We are converting that either he must be using as a yarn manufacturer into bringing it to some sort of another waste recycled product. He can use that 4%, 5% of the fibers which are extracted. But I think the point has come where we have to understand whatever are the weaknesses of us, like the most polluting industry or converting so much or handling so much of waste, how we can convert this into the value-added products. If at all we do this, then these are the areas of growth for us when we will get more mileage out of it. Other thing is that dyes and chemicals, of course, the way things are happening, all experts are here, they are doing a lot of R&D and everything. But I think time has come. When we can tone down our chemical use, we can tone down our dyes and come out with different shades by which would be more eco-friendly. Of course, gaseous state or liquid state which are there, we have controlled them now. Government is imposing a lot of many norms. You have to have complete water recycling. My friend from Sri Lanka has already said so many tests and so many compliances they are already doing. And with this concept, I think we need to see our future investments. If at all I am an investor, I would see that my future lies in converting this particular waste into value-added products. I would also see that cotton which we are using, what best we can use to convert that cotton into bleached cotton, thereby into medical textiles, where staple length is not an issue. Whereas whatever we use in apparels, there we need a certain staple length. But there it is not the issue. So how best we can do for the value addition? One more aspect which is where we are doing quite well in India is technical textiles. We are almost growing with double digits, almost 13 to 14% growth is there in all the 12 sectors of technical textiles. So there also a lot of new investments are coming in. So I am just stopping here and telling you that these are the areas where new investments are happening. During I think question and answer session we can throw more light on that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Malakar. Again and again, the investment in textile is coming to one area, and that is the sustainability part of it. What he said was something very new, that when we go in for future investment, we should also look at the possibility of recycling what has been produced, recycling or reusing or whatever way, rather than sending it to solid waste site or dumping it as an environmental hazard. He's also said that future, it's already happening, but there is a lot of scope in technical textiles. I think that is one thing which we all agree upon. There is no debate on that. And having said that, I think we bring the presentations to a close. One dichotomy that I saw in Mr. Malakar, let me start that as a panel discussion point, is that he was talking about, we should make fabrics with lesser colors and lesser toned down chemicals and all. But today, where the consumer stands, and I'm sure Mr. Parmeshwaran will agree with me, is that we will go and tell someone that you buy a certain color because that color is having less waste. Then throw it out of the shop. Today, it's not us who are working in business. Earlier it was maybe what we produced in India in the 50s and the 60s. The Ambassador and the Bajaj scooter, the consumer had no choice. They would have to buy it, irrespective of what deficiencies the product had. Today the consumer will throw the product if it's not feeling good or if it is not giving the desired effect. So I think I think personally that strategy will not pay us good dividend, because nobody will, despite the inherent advantages in it from the safety point of view, be able to make a product we can rely on the hanger for years and years to come. So that again will end up in the landfilling site without having been used. So anyway, that is one point on which we can start the panel discussion. You can take, and then others I'm sure can come in as and when they feel like.
No, in fact, now if you see the way developments are happening, if you put that recycled, these three arrows, then your product gets enhancement. It is been accepted by all the brands and then they give you premium on that. So earlier days were different. Whenever we were talking of waste, we were thrown out, as you rightly said, we would have end up in a landfill area. But now, if at all we are doing recycle, it means that you are taking care of the environment, you are giving due value to your industry, and that's why our PET, that is the PET bottles which are getting recycled and then we are producing fibers. Now they have come to the extent that you can use it totally for the textile applications. So it is not that recycled means waste, but it is actually value addition and taking care of the environment. Thank you.
No, here the point is that of course you can recycle, that's an excellent concept. But making products which we want, because it's safer, I think the challenge is to make a product which the consumer wants and treat it properly rather than making it the way we want because it is safer. So, anyway, would anybody like to come in on this or have another point of view? I think you have a point of view on that.
I would say that addressing both the points of perspective, it is very important to be responsible in your design. Like how it was brought out yesterday, because the final consumer frankly does not understand about what is wrong in the garment inherently, rather than he is more concerned about how it is going to look on his Facebook or his Instagram pic. So as long as you are responsible in your design and you have a team at the back end who works in tandem with the designers to make it compliant to the business and to be sustainable to the ecology, I think that is where the trick is to find the balance, and that is where we are working on as an organization really very well.
One more dimension to it is that we are not using it for apples. Whatever are the waste fibers, they should be used for the applications of technical textile. That's what I said, that the carpet, automobile, or even if at all you see the recycled fibers, they are having tremendous use. As far as non-apparel use, you are right that if at all we are using, he has to be responsible when he is giving it to Zodiac brand. But if all I am using it for carpet, anybody can walk on it. What needs is the properties. And now, if at all we see that overall India, so many textile plants are there, how many plants are there which are taking care of the waste? Maybe Tirupur, you can throw light on this. How many plants you have to take care of the waste in Tirupur?
How many?
Actually, I have one more view on this. This is a futuristic view. Shiva, person has to advocate for this and they have to bring it into functioning. That actually the manufacturers, the color manufacturers and the color inventors, they have to provide a recycling methodology also, because they know the formula, the properties as you rightly quoted. Then they can also can provide a formula how to get it recycled or how to get it disintegrated in a very environmental friendly manner. So if that knowledge has been designated, the users also would be advocated on that line, and that becomes environmental friendly in total. As far as Tirupur is concerned, actually as I told in my initial address also, that we have been coined as the biggest polluter of that region, and we have been branded like that. And with all this shame thing, we came out of a solution by bringing in the zero liquid discharge practice in Tirupur. That is, the Tirupur cluster is the only cluster across the globe where the zero liquid discharge format has been devised and designed by oneself, and it is in practice. And now people from all across the globe also visiting, and they want, because everyone is compelled to adhere to that norm of late. But actually, that understanding, we just started scrupulously following that zero liquid discharge norm, and that way we recycling the entire water which is getting used. Every day 10 crore liter of water is getting recycled. So I used to tell in many of the forums that Tirupur is supposed to be the highest rainfall gainer. But actually Tirupur might be miss a day or two, of not getting rain. But Tirupur is blessed with 10 crore liter of recycling water every day. So there is one achievement what collectively we could make it. Second thing is Tirupur consumes 200 megawatt of electricity. Now Tirupur is a district headquarter. The entire district is connected, load is 600 megawatt. But we Tirupurians got installed 1600 plus megawatt of green energy source. And we are green energy surplus cluster across the globe. Because we supply to the grid, excess of green energy supply to the grid. So that achievement on that front we have accomplished. And third one is that we just started realizing the importance of this environmental factor. During the, on the day of our beloved Abdul Kalamji's death, we took a vow that we have to afforest the region. And thereby in the last 3 years, we could able to plant 650,000 trees, and it is well maintained by deploying 40 tractors. So ensure that the growth is to be taken care of. So in all these sustainable factors, Tirupur excels on its own record, day in, day out. So with this kind of thing, a collective effort and collective understanding only, we can take forward the industry to the next step.
I think you have done wonderfully well in turning a threat into an opportunity, and I think all of us agree to that. I think Mr. Dunstan has a point to make. And after he makes it, we'll give 10 minutes to the audience for. I know you have a question, maybe a lot of others have. Edward, would you like to come in with your views, or we'll take question answers?
Yeah, it's actually a debatable question, because now we are talking about sustainability, and in one end, when we talk about sustainability, business sustainability, it's people, planet and profit. So we do a lot of investment. I'm sure that all these, the chemical manufacturers, us, and all these down the line, we do a lot of initiatives and we are investing a lot. But however, no matter how good we are on this investment, whether this business survive, if no one there to buy our product, the business will not sustain. So one day we are talking about sustainability, and other end it is little bit contradicting, but it's better to not to use textile products, so it's good for the environment. So it's a debatable question, and we need to make a balance on this. And on the other hand, I think now we have so much of education, but the panelists rightly said about the designer. So designers' input is very important, because one single decision he makes will affect drastically for the entire supply chain thereafter. And the other thing, the end user, how much the end user aware with these kind of concepts. So we need to really